Okay, I was going to do some pawn end games here, but um, it's getting a bit late, and I would like to think about who I'm gonna vote for in August. So, there's no real reason to focus on this right now. But that's how the brain works, very suboptimally. If I want to do something, I'm gonna do it. So we're gonna play the Pirk, and they play a move. I just play a move. It's kind of like chess. Isn't that a Bobby Fischer quote? I play a move, they play a move. Is it? Maybe. So they do nothing. So we do that. Then we're just gonna put bishop out, castle. We might fianchetto it. We'll see. This feels very Italian-y. So I could technically play this, but I could also not play that and just take. But then like this, but like that, and oh, we'll try to play a King's Indian, I guess. I mean, takes. Like, that's a pretty good square for the take. I can do that. I'm not so worried, actually, on this line. So I think here I'll take. They might feel like they can take with the queen, but I don't really feel that's so. Or, I mean, they can, but I just don't think that's that worrisome. And we'll just get this and castles. Their pawn is a bit of a weakness. Is that a concern of mine? Maybe. If I were to play this, they were to play this, and I were to play this. Maybe I should just take it like that and that line. And then I'll just do a little kicking of the bishop. It's not like I don't have the knight protecting it anyways. I don't think the queen coming in is an issue. And in fact, there would just be kind of like terrible for them. So they are getting rid of my bishop pair, but I mean, look at that. Weak pawn. I mean, they can play f3. It's not that weak of a pawn. The bishop can defend it. It really isn't that weak of a pawn, but it's weaker than nothing. So I can just move the rook here, I believe. They're gonna long castle, that suggests to me. Which I mean, they can try, I guess. You do you. I wouldn't personally, but it's not terrible. I just don't think it's good. Or I don't know if I could play that order. So do I start with the rook, or do I start with the queen? Actually, I can't take no, there's the knight, yeah. That's the issue. But if I go here, I'm attacking the bishop. I'm inclined to take with the queen, I think. That's probably a smart move. Or maybe not, I don't know. So I was looking at this maybe. Ask the bishop what it's doing. It does take away the square from my knight though, but I'm not really sure I want the knight there, because that gives them that with tempo. The knight here is also very good. So yeah, we're gonna get the queen out. See what they do. I'd probably take with the knight here if they take. I'm not sure they will. My light squared bishop's currently a bit of a problem piece, but it shouldn't be too bad. Should be able to get that out. Whoa, really? That's like kind of fast, eh? If I go here, they go here, and that's fine. I think, because I just go back up. I could also slide over to here, for example. I mean, this would be somewhat weak, but it's not quite attacked enough yet. I'm a little surprised by that one. This. Another pawn's pretty under threat. Oh, did I blunder the game? No, I didn't. Because my queen can take if they push. Or this knight. Although presumably the queen. But yeah, now I can try to go after this pawn here, I believe. And it should be fine for me. We'll see how they try to deal with that. Like, there might be something here. I really should calculate that a bit more than I just did, but it's fine. I also have ideas of this coming, so we'll see what they do. They take. Oh, is that annoying? A little bit. A lot bit? At least slightly. So I go here, they take, I just take. They take. So here it takes. I think it ends up fine. This is, I mean, I could calculate it a bit further, you know, for example, in this line. But I think it's just fine, where if I go here, they take, well then I can take with the knight. So yeah, that should be good enough. Oh, this is kind of hung though. But this is also hung, so I don't know what's going on. Basically. The take I take with the knight. But which knight? I assume I take with the knight at least. So yeah, here I have to do this. I think they're just simplifying the game. They're just playing the most basic route. Isn't this kind of like losing though? Maybe not, but I think this runs into this. So like, I think it is a losing. Oh, the bishop covers that square. That is a reality of the position that I didn't consider. I'm not sure it would change my move though. Maybe it would. This seems like the natural square. Although, you know, I wonder if this would maybe annoy me. I can try to preserve my pawn. I mean, I could also not try to preserve my pawn. I could also push this to work to preserve it. This is probably decent. To go here, but really I think that's probably wiser to choose a different square. I mean, I don't know, but here, but this goes here anyways. This defends that, but what's defending that really doing? I have many questions. I'm gonna go here. I mean, it protects the rook from this. Does that matter? I don't know. just defend this like this. This is also kind of scary for them. To at least some degree, I would think, but it probably doesn't matter so much. I do have to watch out opening up this file. It could lead to some pretty big issues. That's probably a decent move. Maybe. Although, I have this square now, but of course, there's the whole bishop thing to be keeping in mind. So, I mean, I can stop them from pushing. If they do like this, well then they're getting taken, so I think I will just play this to prevent that. Maybe they'll try to double the rooks and then, oh, whoa. Okay, I didn't see that one. Are there any threats here? Well, this is very threatening, but the issue is that they can just kind of move the king. And now they're threatening my knight, or I guess they'd probably go here. Or maybe they wouldn't have to, I don't know, I'd have to calculate that, but this probably just makes more sense to calculate first. I don't know about it. You know, here... I can just go like here, right? And you know, this would be hanging, and I mean, I do like opening up the file for myself. It's a lot to calculate, really. Consider bringing the king up, but I don't know about that. This might be an idea. I do kind of like this idea, but maybe it runs into like bishop here, but is that really ever scary? I might just drop back. I don't know. It's also worth noting, like, the rooks seeing each other, but that's probably not too important. I could push this to give myself an extra square for when the rooks move. Also, maybe dealing with this, but I don't know if that's needed. A little unsure. I mean, I don't know. They do this, I go here, and now this pawn's really threatened. Is doubling wise though in general? Probably. And if I were to double, this would be how you do it, so I will say that this is a decent move, but I'm not confident in that. I don't know, because this move, bishop c4 at some points, seems like it could be annoying, but I don't think they get time for that. So, because of that, I think it's okay. I don't really know what that's doing. This prevents the open file, but still, like, the bishop would be aimed at it. So yeah, I think I want to trade off one set of rooks. It's worth noting my knight is really running out of squares, but I mean, it still has one. Also, this is kind of, well, no, but they don't have to play rook take, so I will play this, I believe. And I don't think they have anything too scary. So now, I presume this is right. What is that? I'm sorry, what? That's gotta be losing. Okay, what would be good? What would be good? Well, for one, I can take this. They're trying to play this. After which, this bishop might become annoying. Well, they can't even play it with that, and if I play takes, that's really good for me. Here, you know, they could go there, but it's not annoying. You know, this kind of combo, I would love to make this work for me, but I don't think the bishop seeing the rook is actually too big of a thing here. If I go here, their bishop sees my rook. So if I go here, they would play takes, I think, and I would probably take back or whatever. And maybe that pawn structure is enough to win the game. If I go here, they take here. I mean, this pawn structure is improved. I'm up a pawn, but we have opposite colored bishops, so the rook trade would be kind of scary. I don't know. I could just take the pawn though and try to capitalize, and I really do feel like I can just take the pawn. And the knight is currently doing good work covering that, so I think as long as I can move over. So I think I will just start by taking this pawn. Now I'm up 2 pawns. One of the pawns is pretty bad though. Well, this pawn's great for the fact that it's helping my knight succeed, but, you know, it's poor in other aspects. You know, it's a pretty bad doubled pawn, but it's good helping the knight, and it is some form of an advantage, which I can maybe take into an endgame. Even if my knight is no longer there, and my bishop's gone. I think if we get bishops, we'll get opposite colored bishops, because it'll come from this trade here. Okay, it's a reasonable move. Kind of deals with some of my knight's capability of moving. So the question is, for me, can I do this? And the answer is probably yes. I mean, even if they do this, I would have this, and if that... but I'd also be looking at knight here. So yeah, I'm pretty confident this is an okay move. So if they go here, I have to consider between this and... What? I mean, it's an idea. They're really trying to get the king up the board to help this pawn, but that just seems not it. Also, this comes with check. So this idea is very strong. However, this comes with check as well, so that's problematic. I can't move my knight without getting checked. So maybe first I would move out of the check. I have 2 ways of doing this. One is like that. The other is by moving the king to here. My fear is maybe that, but currently the rook would cover it. I don't know, I'm really tempted to push this pawn here, but I'm not sure it's very good. Yeah, I don't know, I don't want to babysit that. But I also don't want to do this. But also I can maybe run my king over, but there's the bishop in the way currently. Also just protect it, I mean. If I go here, I'm targeting this pawn, so it's pretty strong. This rook is no longer defended, but... I mean, come on. I can go here, for example. Maybe get the trade. If I were to go over here and they were to go here, I mean, I don't mind them winning this pawn if I win this pawn. So I think I'll try this. I think maybe if they push this here, I can just move back. But if takes, well, takes, and we're good. That one's weird to me, because I have this. But then they would take this. So I have a couple ideas. One is to just get the bishop out of here, tell it to leave. And I probably like that one the most. I do want to be getting a square for my king too, so yeah, please leave. And now I can even win the pawn if I want to. I'm not confident that's the best way to play this though. It might be though. Might be, very well might be. I mean, this pawn is hanging, technically. And I don't think it's causing too many issues for my king, so... It's also giving me maybe the square for the rook. So I'm going to give it a go. And my king now has this square because they tried this, and I got this h6 move in, which I'm ecstatic about. Now we're up 3 pawns. You know, I do wonder about checking them. Of course. I can also take the pawn. If they slide over, then... I don't know. What if I do start with check? Where are they going? This even looks, possibly useful? If I go here, they go like there, for example. If I go here... You know, if I have rook, if that comes with check, that's probably pretty good for me. We're gonna give a check, because I can always slide back or whatever. Like, I don't think this is ever bad for me, because the squares around the king are covered. So I think this is gonna be winning for some reason, and if it's not, I can just slide back or take the pawn or whatever. But I'm pretty sure, because I can go like here, and that's gonna force like a knight check to do something. I think so. Because if I go here, right, they're forced to a square in which my knight can check them. Well, I mean, here I just get discovered, and if they go here, I win. Or win like that, so yeah. That's winning. So I go here and here, I think. If they go up, it's, you know, very simple, and if you go down, still very simple, I just do this. And that's winning, so. Okay, let's go to the analysis board. What percent is my battery at? 17? Okay. So, we're playing chess, and it seems it wants c5. Let me see, how do I justify that? Because, well, if wanting c5 is fine with me. I mean, it seems okay. Although I'm not particularly excited about, you know, ideas like this, but it seems like it should be fine. You know, d takes e, knight takes e. It's like, eh. But the e-pawn was traded off in this process as well, so yeah, okay, that looks fine. But e5 is apparently... Oh, I thought I gave it like 0.6. If it's only giving it 0.4 and c5 is 0.3, that's fine. Okay, I thought it should 0.6. And I was concerned. Okay, so yeah, taking is pretty good. BD7 actually, the move I played was the top move potentially, maybe not. Shows it as the top move here, but maybe it isn't after playing it. Taking is pretty simple, but I don't know, I don't like it. Even once knight c6, I mean, I don't think I would have played this immediately, but, you know, this is kind of like the general idea of how I would play it, but I wouldn't play it like that immediately. Oh, and g4 apparently is crushing, which I wouldn't expect. Apparently this is really bad for me, which I'm surprised about. But yeah, I wouldn't want to play this, because I'd just be like, well, these pawns are doubled. Although this reminds me of something in the Roy Lopez. But the bishop hasn't been moved. I guess this is just kind of like reminiscent of I guess, yeah, it's the Philidor, kind of. But not quite a Philidor. And the Philidor is kind of like the Steinitz, I guess. I don't know. It's not really that reminiscent of Roy Lopez. So I play this. And I play e takes. I know this bishop move included, so it's not as bad, because they spent a tempo doing that, this instead of like g4, for example, but still apparently not its favorite move. Wants me to just cue the tension, play c6. C6 is reasonable. I do like this pawn structure. After they take it's fine, so maybe. But I don't know, I do this, I don't understand why it's so bad, but okay. I guess maybe that, I don't know. Okay, they make moves, I make moves, they trade, which eases off a lot of pressure. I make this queen move, which apparently isn't very good. But yeah, okay, I think that is bad for them. Well, I think my idea here is I just want to get out of the pin and attack the bishop. Okay, let's see what they're supposed to do about it, though. Like, queen d2. I don't know. Like, here I feel like I've given myself some freedom, though. Make whatever move. I guess none of them actually look very good, though. Okay, maybe the long castle. Maybe I just play like h3. I guess they would step back though. They want bishop f4 actually, which I'm fine with. Now I'm no longer pinned here. Although they keep tension here and they're going to pawn storm me. Definitely quicker than I'm going to be able to do anything on their side. It's true that I'm not really sure what's going on here. But oh, also, it wants move. No, it doesn't want this move. Oh yeah, it definitely doesn't work like that. Maybe if the knight wasn't here though, it'd be a pretty good move actually, because it'd open up this other file and I'd be able to use it for the other rook once I get the bishop out. It also takes away the square from my knight, but I don't think that's too important here. So I go back, which apparently is losing. It wants queen d4, which is a move I considered. I mean, it makes it really possible for them to castle. What was my reasoning? I guess I feel like I almost went back to continue targeting this pawn, but this still targets the pawn. Oh, I guess I was mostly afraid of this, but this does limit their options, their ability to castle. I just go back to, yeah, okay, b6 is the top move. You know, here it's going to be hard for them to castle. Their center is maybe a little weak, and yeah, I should have played that. Although, I don't understand why this is so bad. I guess 0.7 isn't that bad in the grand scheme of things. In the kind of way that I play openings often. But, yeah, I probably should have just played d4. Man, they really hate these moves. Oh, this probably runs into some knight nonsense, like here, probably? No? Okay, that's not a thing, apparently. Or it just wants knight d5, yeah. Wait, oh, isn't that the game? That is the game. Queen takes, let's see what I missed. Here they want queen takes. Takes. I mean, the taking of this pawn is a little annoying, but I had to take this. Well, I thought maybe after like, this for example, I would have a move such as this. They want bishop b5. And I guess here they're just kind of targeting the rook, and I guess that is adequate. I didn't calculate it to the end. I think it's just kind of the conclusion there. Okay. And maybe there are other reasons too, but we're not going to worry about them. But they played this, which is bad for them. Did I play that wrong? It wants rook takes, which, I mean, it's true that actually if they take this, it's pretty bad because of this. And pieces are coming out, but okay. I played knight takes. I just didn't consider stuff enough, I guess. Okay. Playing reasonably. Apparently, what would it want? Let's see. f8. Yeah, but f8 is kind of a weird move to play. Like, I understand why it would be right and stuff, but I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan. But it does also defend the rook here, which kind of came into play later on. My rook not being defended did have some impact, I don't know. But they also played like a bunch of this stuff, so I was like, So for the rook defending this to really be important, the bishop has to move too. And you have to get this other position. Where I have this back here and a rook here, so... I mean, the current state, for them to get to that position, they kind of have to concede other things, I think. But apparently I do something that kind of gives up my advantage. Or maybe not. Well, okay. He really dislikes that move. I don't know why. Is this move part of the... No. Okay. Why is it so against... Let me look at what percent my computer's at again. 14. Okay, that's fine. Why is it so against this? It wants me to move the king. Or play d5. Why would I play d5 though? I'm curious how this d5 line goes, because, I mean, like, what are we doing? Okay, that's not going to be very instructive though, with all that, with that trade. I'm gonna not worry too much about it. I don't think this is too important, really. And, I'm looking to do other things, so we're just gonna actually speed this along a bit. So apparently this is very inaccurate. It wants b5, which is certainly a move I considered. Makes sense, but I said, come at me. b5, a5, d5. Still wants d5, which I don't really get. Yeah, I don't really understand what this is. I mean, no, it's not that bad, really, compared to the other moves. Yeah, maybe b5 was smarter. I mean, lock it down, play a6, and then maybe with bishop here, target this. I don't know, they push it, but like, yeah, push it. It's kind of not much better than the previous position, but yeah. Okay, so this plan seems to not be working. So that plan isn't really the reason why they want b5, or at least not immediately the reason. I guess based off that, I don't really know. It wants me to go back, which is insane, right? Unless there's some tactic where I take it or something. It just wants knight c5, which... but they take... Wait, what? Okay, this has to be some, like, crazy line, right? Or no, this square is c5. Wait, but... Oh yeah, you're attacking the bishop with tempo, because this, and... Okay, I understand. So I just take my pawn, go back. Okay. And now here, it gives mate in 3. Oh, they were actually getting mated? Yeah, I didn't consider that this mate move was mate. Or, the move's not mate. Oh, this move, no. Rook a8. Oh my god, I have another rook. I didn't even realize that I had the other rook. After this move, I was just planning on playing this. And then, you know, taking my piece, or, well, I'd take like this, first. But, yeah, I didn't even see the mate, because this was good in another manner. You know, it was good enough. So, I didn't have to look for that. Okay. Are there any conclusions I want to take away from this game? Yeah, c5 thing's interesting, but not really. Maybe I'll have more awareness in the future for pawn structures like this and how to put them. But I haven't really went into depth and really went into the weeds about it. So it's just going to be more of a, okay, I kind of saw this once kind of thing in the future. Then, oh, I really learned a lot from this game kind of thing. But yeah, it could help me in the future if I just kind of keep a vague memorization of that. And here, vaguely, I could maybe think about, not really. But yeah, I really should have calculated this move more. Maybe I should be calculating certain things more, and I should get my time management a bit better. Because, I mean, I use a bunch of time, but maybe I don't use enough time on the things that matter and too much time on other things. And I should really segregate that. Or ration it more effectively, or whatever. And yeah, I mean, I could have calculated this all more, but I didn't. And now I click something to play it, which is fine, I guess. Yeah, I don't really think I have much else to take away from this game than what I said there. Okay. Lion variation. Okay, they did classify it as the Philidor.